И снова здравствуйте. Я на ночь решил почитать книгу уже не под запись и обнаружил, что у меня прочитано порядка 20 книг, потому что я получил достижение «Книжный червь». Ну, к сожалению, это было сделано не под запись. Если бы я знал, естественно, я бы с удовольствием это сделал, чтобы это показать. Но, как говорится, тут надо либо полностью стримить все свои деяния, либо же, даже не знаю, как-то готовиться заранее. Тут я не был готов. Стримить то, как я периодически перекладываю вещи, смотрю, что происходит, статистику, какие удары пытаюсь запомнить. Я думаю, что вам это совсем не интересно. Ну, по крайней мере, у меня такое мнение. Конечно, я могу ошибаться, но надеюсь, что нет. По крайней мере, есть и другие стримеры, которые все это показывают, но я пока не готов к такому. Так, я послушник Карл, меня ждут, но... Да.
I'm Carl. I'm supposed to enter as a novice.
We expected you sooner. Weren't you supposed to come here with your guardian? It's been so hectic lately, people will keep turning up out of the blue.
Угу. Так.
He gave me the papers and left me at the gate. You must be used to that, though. I'm not the first novice here, am I?
But that wasn't very considerate of him, was it? It's been so hectic here lately, novices arriving one after the other. The last one didn't even have a letter, and you'd think his backside was on fire, the way he kept looking over his shoulder.
You took him without the letter? You didn't find that suspicious?
My guess is he wanted to hide from someone, but he's a priest and knows how things work in the monastery, so there was nothing to prevent him from being accepted, at least temporarily. You're a different case, though. Are you able to read?
Naturally. I wouldn't be here otherwise.
So then, are you ready to enter the Order of Saint Benedict and renounce forever the temptations of this world?
Да,
I
готов.
am.
Then you must rid yourself of all your worldly possessions. Sell them or give them to the poor and needy or donate them to the monastery. You may not enter this place burdened by worldly goods. Inside the gatehouse is a trunk in which you will find monk's robes. Put away all your possessions and dress yourself in the habit. Then you may rest a while I go and see the prior to arrange matters for your acceptance.
Прекрасно. Сейчас меня еще и обдерут как липку. Так, куда надо? Наверх или... Ага. Да, опять наверх. Ясно. Вау. Как-то это он быстро переоделся. Да. Что-то они вообще никуда, никто не спешит. Ой, мне бы их... И... А куда мне сложить? Я что-то не совсем понял. Может сюда? Может я не туда куда-то ломлюсь? Ага.
Strange feeling being without all of that. I didn't realize how much I'd grown used to it.
Конечно, они столько стоят.
Everything's prepared. It's time for you to take your vows.
Do I really have to wear this?
You'd better get used to it. You'll be wearing it for the rest of your life.
brothers in Christ, we have gathered here today to welcome a new novice into our midst. Dear brother, forget your former life and embrace your new vocation in the community of the monks of St. Benedict. Opus Dei, obedientia, obprobria, the service of God, obedience, and endurance of all discomfort. These are the cornerstones and succor of our order, which on this day shall become your own. Suscipe me, Domine, secundum eloquium tuum et vivam, et non confundas me ab expectatione mea.
Suscipe me, Domine, secundum in loquium tuum vivam, et non confundas me ab expectatione made.
Accept your new name, Brother Gregor, and wear it with honor. Welcome, brother.
Как его не убили, я даже не знаю. Да, за такое на хлеб воду. О, открыто достижение монах. Ой,
Welcome,
я
brother.
ж прослезился.
I am Antonius, a novice like you. I've been instructed to guide you around the monastery and tell you what you can expect and what your duties will be.
Thanks for helping me out during the ceremony. I had no idea what I was supposed to do.
You don't know Latin, do you? Don't worry. Work in the scriptorium will teach you fast enough. Why exactly are you here? Was it your choice? Or did someone force you to come?
I'm being punished. If it were up to me, I'd still be spending my days in taverns and my nights with whores.
I don't envy you. Unfortunately, you're here for the rest of your life.
Would you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a novice and I'm here because I'd make a poor merchant. I like books and I want an education. Although I must say, so far the monastic life's been quite unexpected.
Let's go then.
Good. But before we do, here's a letter directly from the prior telling you all your regular duties from tomorrow onwards. Make sure to read it this evening, so you know how things work. Right, we can go now. Follow me closely. I'll explain everything as we go. Remember one word: discipline. It's your job to work and pray. You serve the Lord now, not your own bodily needs.
Так, теперь главное не забыть, что вообще и где. Ух, сколько новых знаний насыпали.
This is the way to the dormitory, where we all sleep. You'll find a free bed there, which is now yours. Do you know the first thing the monastery taught me? To appreciate sleep. We rise before dawn every day. Takes a bit of getting used to.
Praise be to our Lord Jesus.
Servus.
This is the garden, a place for silent contemplation and meditation. Centuries ago, this monastery was founded by the most esteemed of brothers, Saint Procopius. His earthly remains can be found in a cave under the monastery, and his spirit wanders the corridors at night, punishing any misbehaving novices. So beware.
Here are the frattery and scriptorium.
together with the library. These are the places where we work. Ora et labora. Pray and work.
As a novice, you must always listen to your superior brethren. And above us monks are the prior and the circators, who punish every infraction. You'll know them by the canes they carry. Do what they say. This is the refectory, where we come together to eat. During meals, you must be silent. Only one brother reads aloud from the rule of Saint Benedict.
The rule is the only law we recognize, with the exception of those from God himself. If you break any of its expect a swift punishment. But I've already told you about the library, the pride of our monastery, a trove of learning. We don't just read books here, we also copy them. You too will learn how. And that's all. Today you are still free from duty, but tomorrow you begin work like the others. If you need anything, ask any of the brothers. We'll be glad to help you. And I recommend you get to know the other novices. You already know me. Then there is Siskin, Yodok, and Lucas.
Thanks for showing me around. There's a lot to learn here.
Так, ну как-то начиная с тому, что я хочу, что я ищу святошу.
Will you tell me something about yourself?
There's not much to tell. I lived in Vlashim, and after my father died, I found out I wasn't much of a merchant. So I left the shop to my brother, and decided to become a monk. It's peaceful here. There's food and lots of time to read.
So you chose to come here?
It may seem strange, but I'm one of the few novices that did. I might be the only one. The truth is, the idea of spending my life in a monastery was more appealing than being cooped up in a greasy old shop.
Интересно, если я выберу вопрос про отмычки.
It occurred to me you might be the man to ask. I'm looking for some lockpicks. Do you know anyone in the monastery who could help me?
Lockpicks? You surprise me, brother. And you, a nobleman's son. But you could ask Brother Salarius. They say he used to be a thief.
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. Who's in charge of things around here?
Truthfully, everyone except us. But officially, Abbot Peter. And soon enough, someone else. As if it mattered. Our life will still be work and prayer.
I see. Are there any rifts between the brothers?
Yes. From the moment talk began about electing a new abbot, it's been like a hornet's nest here. Strange you haven't noticed.
Tell me something about electing the abbot.
Abbot Peter is old. When he dies, they'll have to select a new abbot from amongst the brethren. The candidates are John and Nevlas. And if you ask me for my opinion, Nevlas is definitely the right man. Unfortunately, no one cares about my opinion because novices get no say.
Tell me something about life here.
Work, prayer, as if you didn't know. We serve God, and that's the central truth of our lives.
What are the roles of the various monks here?
Someone takes care of the library, someone else the garden. The abbot supervises everyone, and in his absence, the prior. But it's the circators you should worry about. They're the brothers who'll make sure we observe the rule. They can be quite strict, so if you want to avoid getting punished, always act righteously and do your duties honestly.
Так,
Who would you choose as the new abbot if you could?
Why should I even think about that when I don't have the right to vote? Gregor, don't go poking your nose into other people's business. You'll sleep better at night.
да, чувствую, тут надо ходить. Да-да-да, не надо себя истязать чрезмерно. Вау. Ох, ох, ох. Я сюда очень хорошо попал. Так, кстати, да. Список повседневных дел. Давайте прочитаем. Ух, 3 утра, начало дня. 4 часа заутреннее. Ну ладно, 6 утра совместная трапеза. 8 утра работа в трапезной, назначаемая братом Невласом. 12 дня работа в библиотеке, назначаемая братом библиотекарем. 4 дня дневная молитва, 6 вечера вечерняя общая трапеза, 7 вечера по вечере, свободное время перед сном, 9 вечера отдых и отход ко сну, да славится Иисус Христос, Отец Дмитрий, настоятель. Ага. Понятно. Что ничего не понятно, что мне там делать? Ух, оказывается, тут есть у нас... Так, это я читал? Ага, не читал. Я вот не помню. Ну вроде... начально переписывать это не мое. Вот еще есть хорошего. Вдруг я что-нибудь... Вдруг что-нибудь найду еще. Хорошее. А почему я пренебрегаю своим дневным? У меня же сегодня ничего нету. Угу. Так, он... Ага, попросил ложиться спать. Так. Угу. То есть они имеют в виду, что мне пора идти спать. Ну хорошо, давайте пойдемте. Я вот уже успел забыть, как зовут того брата, а у меня нигде не написано. Здесь еда, понятно. О! Точно, брат не влас.
I'm Gregor, a novice. I saw you at the ceremony.
I know. It was hard not to notice you.
And you are?
Lucas, also a novice. Don't get upset, but I don't want to talk to you. I'm happiest alone.
I'd like to know something about the other novices.
I don't know much, but ask away.
Tell me about Antonius.
I'd like to, but there's nothing to tell. I've never spoken to him. I've never asked about him.
You really don't know anything about anyone? Well, thanks anyway.
Don't get upset. I'm sorry I can't tell you more. I just haven't felt like getting to know anyone yet.
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery.
Так, ну это я все, да. Так, нет, говорить по поводу святоши я бы не хотел на самом деле. Так, о.
Greetings, brother. I'm Gregor, and I'm new here.
Greetings to you, brother. I'm Yodok, the oldest of the novices. I hope you'll like it here in the monastery and that you won't get into trouble.
Trouble?
You're young, perhaps intemperate. You might easily stray from the rules of the order. I suggest you get to know the older monks. You never know when it might come in handy.
I'm interested in the other novices. Do you know anything about Antonius?
Only that he came to the monastery voluntarily, because he didn't want to work in his father's shop. Antonius is all right. You can rely on him. He won't betray your confidence. He's always happy to help, which is more than can be said for the other brothers.
I'm interested in Lucas.
Nobody knows much about Lucas. He keeps himself to himself. If you ask me, he's got something to hide. I'd keep well clear of him if I was you.
Do you have any grounds for suspecting him of something?
Quite a lot. And also none at all. The circators who make the rounds despise him, and they'd never punish anyone without cause.
Так.
Can you tell me something about yourself?
I would if there was anything noteworthy to say. But I'm just the ordinary son of a landowner, now a monk. There's nothing in my past, present, or future that anyone could find interesting.
Why did you join the monastery?
Because it was better than living in poverty. As the youngest son, I'm not entitled to inherit my father's estate, but he was kind enough to sell off some cattle and send me here. And you know what? I'm glad to be here. It's better than mucking out manure.
Это я понимаю. Хорошо, ладно. Так, куда я иду, интересно? Да, я чувствую, этот квест будет очень веселым и очень долгим. Так вот ходишь.
Ah, Gregor, talk to me.
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. Tell me something about life here.
Prayer, work, obedience. That just about sums it up.
Can you tell me something about the rule of St. Benedict?
7 centuries ago, Saint Benedict of Nursia wrote a collection of monastic rules, which we still follow today. They're read at every meal. The fundamental precepts are obedience, work, and prayer. We're fully devoted to serving God. The outside world beyond the monastery walls is foreign to us.
Do you never want to know what's going on out there?
And what should be going on? The sky is just as blue, and the grass is just as green. Perhaps the rulers change, but the greatest ruler of them all will remain unchanged through the ages.
I'm interested in the monastery's history.
It was founded by Saint Procopius 500 years ago. After his death, heretics occupied the place for some time, but then the order was restored and brothers of true faith returned.
Heretics, you say?
They wanted to worship God with some foreign rituals in a language foreign to God. They were driven away and their books burned.
What are the roles of the various monks here?
Well, the abbot is the head, but he's not here now. Then there's the prior and the sub-prior, the librarian, the porter, and many others. As a novice, you should be particularly mindful of the circators. They're the ones who maintain discipline and punish bad behavior.
What can you tell me about the novices here?
What can I say? You're here to demonstrate your devotion to God and to live a monastic life. After a year, you can make your vows and become a fully fledged brother.
I meant something specific about the brothers that are here.
But you know them yourself. Yodok is an odd one, but he's diligent and eager. Perhaps too eager. Siskin is good company, but a bit too worldly for a monk. Antonius is hard-working and will help you with anything, but prays less than he ought. Lucas is as quiet as a mouse, and no one knows much about him. And then we have you, about who I know nothing.
Can you leave the monastery?
Where would you go? You have everything you need here. Anyway, all the doors here are closed and locked tight so no one can get in or out.
Понятно. Спасибо.
That must have been Brother Cicada.
You might be wrong, and besides, God will be our protector.
Так, кто мне там нужен? Я, по-моему...
My name's Gregor, a novice.
You can call me Siskin. Now, are you here of your own free will, or is this a punishment? Although, it's not important. Welcome to Purgatory.
Did you say purgatory?
You'll see soon enough. Soon enough.
Will you tell me something about yourself?
Look, nothing against you, but I prefer not to talk about my past.
Are you hiding something? Why are you so reluctant to tell me anything about yourself?
I'm hiding a lousy past that I'd rather forget. I hate to think of all I lost when they stuck me in here. And also because I really hate the question, aren't you the son of the famed Sir Smil Flashka Pardubitz? I was rich and I had everything. But then my father began to feel his time approaching, so he decided to send a son to the monastery. And, being the youngest, the lot fell on me. I've no head for managing the estate, and they said I'd squander it. Can you imagine? Me, in a monastery. So I took what coin I could from home with me, so I didn't lose out completely.
Так, что-то там у меня поменялся, надо будет почитать.
But you didn't have to come here if you didn't want to.
No, not if I didn't mind being left to beg alms by the city gate. I had one choice, the monastery or nothing. If it had come to that after my father's death, so be it. But to get rid of me while he's still alive...
They must have realized you robbed them.
I donated some of the silver to the monastery when I came in, just to piss them off. I can just see my my siblings, arguing with the abbot to give it back.
And you stashed away the remainder?
Indeed so.
What's your plan with this treasure?
To get out of here as soon as I can. I'll wait another year or two until my hot-headed brothers cool off a bit, and then I'll take the silver and run off somewhere, far, far away from here.
Superiors to chase around after them, finishing what they
That's all I wanted to know.
Did you have to finish someone's...
Please, keep it to yourself.
Yet again.
Especially the part about the coin.
How is it that you don't get any penance for missing morning prayers?
I've paid off the circators to turn a blind eye. And the other monks don't notice as long as you show your face there from time to time. No one's too awake at that time of the morning.
I'd be interested to hear what you think about the other novices. Tell me about Antonius.
Oh, if there was a monk I'd recommend as a friend, with, of course, the exception of myself, it would be Antonius. He has a calm soul, he's easy to talk to, and you can always rely on him.
I'm interested in Yodok.
What could interest you about him? He's a no-good rat. He'll turn you in for the price of a turnip. I'd bet my life that if he wasn't here, he'd be a cumin scout, bowing and scraping for a few groschen.
That doesn't sound too flattering.
It wasn't meant to. No matter what you do here, watch out for him. He's got his eye on everyone, and he'll rat on you for even the slightest of infractions.
What can you tell me about Lucas?
It's a tricky situation with Lucas. No one really knows anything about him.
Someone
I've
really
tried so many times to talk to him, but he always
Right.
backs away like a virgin on a wedding night.
Wine barrel in there, and it's not.
That's all. Thanks.
It's a mystery, but one that'll soon be solved. It's a wonder that Prior doesn't check everyone's breath.
I'd like to ask you something about the
Then he'd
monastery.
soon get its man.
Так, это я все слышал.
I'm still curious about this treasure trove of yours.
It's no big terrible secret. Really, it isn't. I just go and read during services. There's no time otherwise. I mean, at other times I don't get to read what I like. And I keep it under the slab so the others don't find it.
I'll leave you be. Don't worry, I won't follow you again.
Thank you. And please, Gregor, don't mention it to anyone.
Ну хорошо.
I'm telling you, someone's been creeping around in the corridor at night. What am I saying, creeping? He was stomping about like a bear.
That must have been Brother Cicada. He can't sleep and prays long into the night.
Так, а мне интересно, я забыл уже, кому меня послали тогда. Как послали, так послали. Монах, который мне может дать отмычки. Так. Просто монах. Ясно. Так, ага. Туда нельзя. Сюда нельзя. Так, куда все идут? Так, по времени. Сейчас уже. Так, сейчас, секунду. Читать. В 9 часов отход ко сну. Ну ладно, я со всеми. Вау, круто. Ребята, вы ничего не напутали? Ну ладно.
I've got an itchy feeling on the back of my neck. I think someone's spying on us.
А ты куда пошел? Ясно. Ты завис. Да, как вы видите, у нас здесь ИИ просто восхитителен. Ясно, понял. Так, где моя пустая кровать? И мы ложимся. Так, до скольки там сказано было? Господи, какой ужас. До 3 утра. Так, нет, до 3 утра точно? Начало дня. Хорошо. До 3 утра. Ну, благо, видите, у меня сытость, энергия просто зашкаливают. Поэтому я в данном случае могу не волноваться ни за один из этих параметров. Правда, удобство кровати, конечно, 60%, но... Так, я забыл, как этого брата зовут с отмычками. Дайте мне брата. Для чего-то же это надо. Так, это кто у нас? Ага. Чижик. Так, ну, все еще спят, ясно. Так, а я, пожалуй, почитаю, что у меня с заданием. Так, угу. Угу. Так, ну хорошо. Интересно, если я его разбужу, что будет?
I'm Gregor, a novice.
I know. I saw you at the ceremony. My name is Nebulus, and I'm the provost here. I'm in charge of the monastery's property, as well as handling trade with the outside world.
That means you get to leave the monastery?
No, not at all. I just write lists and send them out.
Классно он разговаривает.
Tell me about yourself.
I'm the provost of this monastery. It's my job to ensure the monks live a humble life and that any surpluses go to the poor. But in reality, I spend all my time making sure my brother's gluttony and the construction of a new church don't swallow up the few resources we have left.
Is there anything I could help with?
You know, there is. Perhaps you've heard that Abbot Peter is gravely ill. I'm interested in medicine, and I know there's a cure for the abbot's ailment. With your help, I could find out the details, and together you and I could give old Peter a few more years to do good. What do you say?
What do you need me for?
In order to get the recipe for this medicament, a few rules will need to be broken. Now, you know, most of the brothers believe every illness is a message from God, and that it's not our place to deny his will. I, however, think if God sent us not just illnesses, but also the medicine to cure them, then it's our duty to relieve people of their suffering. The cure for Abbot Peter's illness could be contained in one of the books in our library, but it will certainly be amongst the Libri Prohibiti, the forbidden books, those we aren't permitted to read.
Это даже интересно.
Why are they forbidden?
Because they contain occult and demonic practices, witchcraft and all manner of evil. Or so some people claim. It's nonsense, of course. This is nothing but a book of medicine, albeit one written by a pagan. Ibn Sina, also known as Avicenna, is universally acknowledged to be a wise man. But here, at some point, someone decided his book is the work of a Saracen devil and must be kept under lock and key. Since then, no one can even talk about the book. But the three wise men were from the East, were they not?
Where can I find it?
In the library, there's a large cabinet with a lock on it. The forbidden books are inside. You'll easily recognize what you're looking for. The cover has not only a Latin inscription, but also Saracen letters. Bring it to me, but leave the other books there. No one will notice if one book disappears, but if more were to vanish, someone would certainly begin to look into it, which is exactly what we don't want.
Is there anything you can tell me that would help?
There's a key to the cabinet in the prior's chambers. The librarian should have another one, or you can acquire some lockpicks. But I can't tell you where or how. Perhaps Brother Celerius could help.
I'm ready.
One more important thing. There's always someone in the library during the day. To pass unwatched, you'll need to go at night. It's locked, but I'm sure you'll manage to get in. They say Brother Solarius understands locks, but don't tell him why you need it. Once you have the book, bring it to me, and I'll then use it to make Peter's medicine. We'll soon have the election of the abbot over and done with.
I'm interested in the election of the new abbot.
You're not alone. Everyone's so worked up about that they spent no time considering how they could make the monastery a better place now.
Why? What's wrong with it now?
Many brothers think more about their stomachs than prayer. The older brethren bend the rules of the order to make them fit their interests. So, to balance the scales, they want the novices to lead exemplary lives. Sin abounds here, just as in the outside world.
What sins are you talking about?
The scripture says, "Let he who is without sin cast the first stone." I'm sorry, Gregor, it's not my place to speak about the sins of others.
I'd be interested to know more about Brother John.
I don't like to speak ill of people, but Circuitor John is the worst person the monks could pick to represent them. He's nothing but an old schemer and pedant who preaches water but drinks wine. He's won the older brethren over because they know he won't call an end to their debauchery.
Why do you want to become abbot?
Because when I see the way things are headed around here, I have no other option. Itinerant preachers speak of the corrupted black heart of the church, and I can't deny there's truth in what they say. I'd like to change things and bring back meaning and esteem to the monastery.
That's all. Thank you.
Peace be with you, brother.
What do you desire, Brother Gregor?
I'm looking for something a little unorthodox.
And what would that be exactly?
I'm looking for lockpicks.
Lockpicks? And what would you like those for?
Так. Интересно. Ну ладно.
I'd like to practice opening locks, just for the fun of it.
Just for fun. Pull the other one, brother. It's got bells on. Anyway, you're barking up the wrong tree. I can't help you. What would you like?
I'm looking for something a little unorthodox.
And what would that be?
I'm looking for
lockpick.
I'd like to
just for talk to me, brother.
Я тебя замучаю.
I'm looking for
and what?
I'm looking for
lockpick.
What's it to you? Do you have some or not?
Peace, brother. There's no need to get all worked up. So you heard I used to be a burglar, did you? I put it all behind me as soon as I took the vows.
Так бы сразу.
But I do have a few lockpicks left. I'll trade them for food. Get me a bite to eat, and you can have your lockpicks. Can't say fairer than that, can I?
Ага. Еда? А у меня нет еды. У меня ничего нету. Понятно. Хорошо, у тебя есть немного отмычек. Понятно. Аж 20 штук. Хорошо. Ох. Мана. Да. Так, интересно, а где ты работаешь? Келарь. Интересно, а мне надо кушать? Да, наверное, сытость 88. Чувствую, я тут ночью повеселюсь. Следующий. Так, хорошо, значит... ну, 3 часа уже... Уже наступило. Все должны вставать, идти на заутреннюю, на молитву. Угу. Что-то все как-то радостно лежат, уже 3 часа. Только один монах куда-то пошел. Давайте последуем за ним, посмотрим, что тут там надо делать. Так, что там у нас было, кстати? Так. 3 часа начала дня, 4 заутренние. Ну ясно, хорошо. О. Угу. Ну что ж, попробуем. Ладно. И...
The treasure is in...
Черт, я опять не на то нажал. Ага. Да, я хотел вот этого покрасть. Угу. Идти в костел на молитву. Ну, хорошо. А по карте мне покажут, куда это идти? Угу. Так, ладно, понял. Так, а там внизу что интересно? Угу. То есть, когда рядом уставщик, видимо, начинается такая музыка. Или уставщик. И как тут молиться? Угу. Ну, давайте до 6 часов. И тебе не хворать. Так понимаю, уже можно идти кушать, да? Угу. Один, да, совсем.
In a wish to pray? Slow down, brother. Slow down, slow down, brother.
Да и так медленно иду. Я вообще отключил бег. Вы видите, я вас обгоняю. Как так можно?
This is the virtue of those who hold nothing dearer to them than Christ, who, because of the holy service they have professed, and the fear of hell, and the glory of life everlasting, as soon as anything has been ordered by the superior, receive it as a divine command, and cannot suffer any delay in executing it. But this very obedience will be acceptable to God and pleasing to men only if what is commanded is done without hesitation. Delay, lukewarmness, grumbling, or objection. For the obedience given to superiors is given to God. For if the disciple obeys with ill will and murmurs, not necessarily, yet his work will not be acceptable to God, who sees that his heart is murmuring. And far from gaining a reward for such work as this, he will incur the punishment due to murmurers, unless he amend and make satisfaction. The rule of Saint Benedict, readings on humility. The first degree of humility is obedience without delay. This is the virtue of those who hold nothing dearer to them than Christ, who, because of the holy service they have professed, and the fear of hell, and the glory of life everlasting, as soon as anything has been ordered by the superior, receive it as a divine command, and cannot suffer any delay in executing it. But this very obedience will be acceptable to God and pleasing to men only if what is commanded is done without hesitation. Delay, lukewarmness, grumbling, or objection. For the obedience given to superiors is given to God. For if the disciple obeys with an ill will and murmurs, not necessarily with his lips, but simply in his heart, then even though he fulfills the
Смотрю я на них, на всех, и такое чувство, что у них у всех жуткое похмелье.
That his heart is murmuring, and far from gaining a reward for such work as this, he will incur the punishment due to murmurers, unless he amend and make satisfaction. The rule of Saint Benedict. Readings on the abbot. Therefore, when anyone receives the name of abbot, he ought to govern his disciples with a twofold teaching. That is to say, he should show them all that is good and holy, by his deeds even more than by his words, expounding the Lord's commandments in words to the intelligent among his disciples, but demonstrating the divine precepts by his actions for those of harder hearts and ruder minds. The abbot should always remember what he is and what he is called, and should know that to whom more is committed, from him more is required. Let him make no distinction of persons in the monastery. Let him not love one more than another, unless it be one whom he finds better in good works or in obedience. And let him not shut his eyes to the faults of offenders, but, since he has the authority, let him cut out those faults by the roots as soon as they begin to appear.
И долго так кушать мне еда, это уже давно.
Well-disposed and those of good understanding, let him correct with verbal admonition the first and second time. But bold, hard, proud, and disobedient characters he should curb at the very beginning of their ill-doing by stripes and other bodily punishments, knowing that it is written, "The fool is not corrected with words." And again, beat your son with the rod, and you will deliver his soul from death.
Ну что, он закончил.
Peace be with you, brother.
Так, только один можно? А, ну, наверное, уже можно наконец-то вставать. Так, ну что, у меня сытость сотни, это хорошо. Так, Давайте еще раз проверим, а то я не хочу никуда попасть случайно. Угу. Так, значит, брат не влаз, да? Угу. То есть я тут должен сидеть. Ох, до скольки? До 8 утра. А сейчас сколько? Ну, почти 8. Ладно, ждем.
Worse than last time. I'll tell you, something is going to happen out there.
You might be wrong. And besides, God will be our protector.
Так, где там брат не влаз? Не в глаз. Ага, келарь, который хочет еды нормальной.
Don't move a muscle.
Brother? What are you doing here? Shouldn't you be working somewhere? Idle hands are the devil's workshop.
I definitely was there. I did come a little late, so perhaps no one noticed me.
Brother? Save your excuses for someone else. This is your first warning. Don't
Так,
do
как
it
я до
again.
него должен был добраться? Или я должен был его избегать? Ну ладно, хорошо. Где же он мне показывал химический стол? Разве не тут?
Praise be to Christ, brother.
I'm here to work.
Excellent. I've been waiting for you. There's the Alchemists Laboratory. You'll find ingredients in the chests next to it. Concoct 2 buck's blood potions. Once you finish them, you'll find me somewhere nearby. Don't forget to let me know when you're done so I can check them.
Бодрости, говорите, да? И... Это то. Вот, это, наверное, задира. Так, самогон, горсть валерьян. Так, валерьяна 2 мяты. Ну хорошо. Так, а где получить, кстати, их можно? Ой, валерьяна 2 мяты. Валерьяна 2 мяты. Так, а я могу взять все? Хорошо. Нет, мне жаль. Скажу для дела. Страница для книги. Повязка. Что есть еще хорошего? Угу. Так, ну по-моему, да, я это уже. Эту книгу я уже читал. Угу. Ну ладно, давайте займемся, пока у нас есть возможность. О, готовка авто. А, я пока не могу. Так, спирт. Ага, добавь. Угу. Добавь шалфей 1 штук. Кипяти в течение 1 оборота. Измельчить полынь. Бросить котел и подогревай в течение 2 оборотов. То есть не... Чтобы он не сильно... Ага, потом дистиллировать. Ясно. Ну, попробуем. Так, добавить шалфей. Так, значит, сумка. Так, шалфей. А где шалфей? Стоп. Шалфей? А у меня нет шалфея. Что-то я не понял. Та-та-та-та-та-та-та. Так, еще раз. Ингредиенты в ларце. В каком ларце? В ларце ничего нету. Какой зелье бодрости? Ай. Точно, да. Я перепутал. Извиняюсь. Так, измельчить мяту 2 штуки, кипятить в течение 1 оборота. Хорошо. Так, значит, так, мята и валериана. Так, мята и валериана. Так, 2 горсти мяты, измельчить, кипятить в течение 1 оборота. Так, ну... Точно, я забыл. А что там надо? Спиритус. Да, спиритус. Я уж и забыл, как я тогда готовил. Мята. Стопка. Раз. Может, можно было авто использовать? Автоготовка. Звуки, конечно, еще те. Так. Дальше высыпать. Так, как-то немного криво. Так, и что делать надо? Кипятить мяту в течение одного оборота. Угу. Так, ну хорошо, значит, кипятить. О, я пузырьки вижу. Так, кипятить в течение одного оборота. Дальше что мы делаем? Да. Добавить валериану, кипятить в течение 2 оборотов. Ага, берем одну валериану. Дальше. В течение 2 оборотов. Так, первый пошел. Ну хорошо. Так, и потом дистиллировать. Дистиллятор. Ну. И что я делаю не так? Снадобье и дистиллятор, понял. Угу. Какой петушок? Ой, что-то я взлетел. Выпустите меня. Так, заняться алхимией. Так, читать. А в чем мне... Угу. Уровень должен быть выше. Понятно. Значит, опять спирт. Нет. Так, значит, спирт, 2 мяты растереть. Мята и валериана. Ох, когда же будет автоматическая варка? Я чувствую, что я в ближайшее время займусь прокачкой таких навыков, как взлом, алхимия. Ну, естественно, не под запись, только для того, чтобы все это можно было делать уже автоматически, не отвлекаться, вот как я делаю сейчас. Так, значит, начинаем. Так, кипятить 1 оборот, я помню. Потом взять 1 валериан, добавить... угу. Да, все верно. Так, берем валериану, кидаем в котелок и кипятим. Так, еще 1 оборот. Дальше берем выпить снадобье и в дистиллянт. Золотой петушок. Ну, а мне что надо было сделать? Так, ну это были два... Почему петушок? Кстати, да. Ну, по идее, верно. Правда, меня что-то перекосило тут с высотой. Ну ладно, давайте попробуем.
Praise be to Christ, brother.
I've finished my work.
Show me what you've made. Brother, brother, what will become of you? Oh, well, perhaps tomorrow you'll do better.
Так а ты мне что задал? Ну хорошо. Так, ладно, читаем. Что дальше я должен сделать? Список повседневных дел. Вроде это я помог. Работа в библиотеке. 12 часов. Хорошо. А у нас по времени... О, почти. Так, почему все-таки не получился? Почему у меня получился именно, ну, задира? Почему петушок, а не задира? Угу. Измельчи мяту и 5 мяту в течение 1 оборота. Добавь валерьяну в течение 2 оборотов. Ну. Вопрос, что я сделал не так? Ладно, хорошо. Так, нам в любом случае... Ну, валерьяна, да, мяты. Было по 20, стало все правильно. Что нам делать?
Salve. Be well.
What is it, brother?
I found this piece of parchment. It looks like it's been ripped out of a book.
Oh, the words mean nothing to me. Ask in the library.
О, меня послали к библиотеку. Так, а где библиотека? Так, мне все равно в библиотеку надо, да, с 12 часов.
No, Peter has a strong.
Так, библиотеку, по-моему, нам надо вот сюда, если мне память не изменяет. Ничего, скучное занятие, однако.
Are you interested in what's inside? Forbidden books, written by the devil himself. Forget about them.
Ну да. Так, а где этот брат? Вот он, да.
Praise be to Christ, brother.
И тебе тоже. Так.
I found this piece of parchment. It looks like it's been ripped out of a book. Do you know what it is?
It appears to be a page torn out of Ovid.
Ovid? What is that? Is it the name of a book?
Not what, but who. Ovid was a great Roman poet. We have a few volumes by him in the library, but one of them vanished one day. Now I believe I can guess what happened. Brother Eustace, may the earth rest lightly on him, was quite narrow-minded when it came to classical literature. If a book had any mention of woman at all, he condemned it as a heretical work. If he'd had his way, all such books would have been burned. Ovid's The Art of Love must have been such a thorn in his side that he stole it from the library, tore it up, and hid the pages wherever he could.
Oh, would you like me to put the book back together again?
Absolutely. Eustace's wits weren't the sharpest, so I'm sure he didn't destroy any of the pages. I imagine he hid them throughout the monastery. It might take you a while to find them all, but when you do, you can rest assured Ovid will return to his rightful place in the library.
Я умру,
I'll look
чем
around for it.
сделаю это дело.
Thank
но
you, brother.
попробую.
It's of no great
Ну, что
importance,
начался
but if
не
you can
под
find all
запись.
10 pages, I'll be most grateful.
10, ну хоть 10.
Can you tell me something about the book?
The Art of Love is a sort of manual instructing young people how to find and maintain love. It's a lovely work. I don't understand what bothered Eustace so much about it, but as I was saying, he considered the book to be immoral and tore it up to stop it corrupting any of his brothers.
Where should I look?
If I knew, I wouldn't have asked you to do it. The pages of the book could be hidden anywhere, from the garden to the refectory.
Понятно. Так, ага. Так, я пришел
I'm here
работать.
to work.
Good. This is most likely the first time you've ever done this in your life. But it's easier than you think. Just a bit of practice and learning Latin. Here's the original, and here are the blank parchments on which you'll copy what you read in the original. Is that clear? Then you may begin, and try not to make a mess of it.
Так, куда мне сесть? А, вот. Так, кстати, да, давайте я посмотрю. Мало ли где-то еще есть тут страницы. О, страница из книги. Да, 2 из 10. Я чувствую, я так... Весь монастырь мне придется облазать, чтобы найти их.
Are you interested in what's inside? Forbidden books, written by the devil himself. Forget about.
Да я уже понял, можешь мне это заново не говорить. Ну, по идее, да. Тут больше ничего не должно быть. Да, все такие. Ну ладно, давайте начать переписывание. Ой, ёкарный баба, я-то думал, он автоматически это будет делать. Сингл Англи Домон Лурас Энс. Ну, по крайней мере, это самое похожее. До минус ду чего? А с какого начинать? Так. Дор минус или до минус? До минус. Какой у них хреновый текст. Теперь понятно, откуда столько ошибок было. До минус Dixit. Add me. Да, вот это очень похоже, по крайней мере. До... Какая жесть. Домини эс фопа. Ну да, по-моему, это. Угу. Я ж писать-то не умею. Я латынь-то только тогда прочитал. С трудом. А от меня хотят... Угу. Угу.
Can you read at all? I've never seen so many mistakes.
Какой ужас. Ах, ох, 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 ох. И... Ну, я вообще-то на самом деле вроде все верно сделал. Так, ну, в любом случае, да. Угу. Мне нужна еда. Я помню, что он... Так, а я тут что-нибудь могу еще? Ну, да, на самом деле-то могу скрыть много. Так, но... Что меня интересовало... Да, интересовало. Что у меня следующее? Так, 12 дней, 4 дня. Дневная молитва. Что у нас со временем? 4 дня. Или заново надо переписывать? Давайте еще раз, все равно времени есть. Орана. Или это Орада, Дорода. Не, ну вроде но. Окей, возьмем это. Вот за что я взялся. Где это искать? По всему экрану. The Sanctus Oratio. The Anubis Fantus. Да где это G, D? Во что я вообще ввязался? У меня уже есть желание прирезать всех в этом, в этой церкви и не мучиться. Угу. Вообще не вижу. Даже вот от слова совсем. Что за амнибус? Ну, вообще-то, по идее, вот это очень сам похоже. Ну ладно, попробуем. Интересно, а у меня уровень чтения от этого улучшится за то, что я вот это сейчас все переписываю?
What is it, brother?
Is it possible to learn something about the other novices in the library?
Only the abbot and the prior keep such records.
And can I see them?
No. The abbot writes and keeps his records in his chambers, and only he and the prior are permitted to read them.
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery.
Ой, аббат, приор. Значит, надо туда пробраться, ясно. Но у меня сейчас времени еще до скольки там? До 4, да? На молитву, на молитву, на молитву.
Peace be with you, Dominus tecum. Benedicta tu in mulieribus.
Че, видите, как я бегу? Сколько тут всего хорошего, наверное. Ладно, можно будет ночью попробовать.
Brother? Brother Nevelis says that you didn't finish your work in the herb room. Have you lost your taste for honest labor?
I was feeling a bit queasy.
Да не было такого.
I wasn't born yesterday. This is your second warning. Do it again, and you will be punished.
А при чем здесь травник? У меня не было таких дел. Я так не могу. Я уже там всех готов сам убить. Ой-ой-ой. Что там у нас? Совместная трапеза? Угу. Вот. Я бегу, бегу, бегу.
When they come out from prime in the morning, let them labor at whatever is necessary until about the 4th hour. And from the 4th hour until about the 6th, let them apply themselves to reading. After the 6th hour, having left the table, let them rest on their beds in perfect silence. Or if anyone may perhaps want to read, let him read to himself in such a way as not to disturb anyone else. Let none be said rather early, at the middle of the 8th hour, and let them again do what work has to be done until Vespers. Weak or sickly brethren should be assigned a task or craft of such a nature as to keep them from idleness and at the same time not to overburden them or drive them away with excessive toil. Their weakness must be taken into consideration by the abbot.
He can't sleep.
The rule of Saint Benedict. Readings on daily manual labor. Idleness is the enemy of the soul. Therefore, the brethren should be occupied at certain times in manual labor, and again at fixed hours in sacred reading. To that end, we think that the times for each may be prescribed as follows. From Easter until the calends of October. When they come out from prime in the morning, let them labor at whatever is necessary until about the 4th hour. And from the 4th hour until about the 6th, let them apply themselves to reading. After the 6th hour, having left the table, let them rest on their beds in perfect silence, or if anyone may perhaps want to read, let him read to himself in such a way as not to disturb anyone else. Let none be said rather early, at the middle of the 8th hour, and let them again do what work has to be done until Vespers. Weak or sickly brethren should be assigned a task or craft of such a nature as to keep them from idleness and at the same time not to overburden them or drive them away with excessive toil. Their weakness must be taken into consideration by the abbot.
Все? Ты кончил? Значит, у меня энергия 89, сытость 100. Прекрасно. Я хотел уточнить, сколько сейчас времени?
Slow down, brother. Pay more attention, brother.
8:30, соответственно, я... Ох... Как я замучился, вы бы знали. У меня сегодня нет никакой... бы я что-то забыл. Угу.
And God be with you.
Так, вот. Общая трапеза. Ну, наверное, можно выйти попробовать, по
Pay
крайней
more
мере.
attention. Slow down, brother.
The Watcher's stepbrother. The Watcher's stepbrother.
Так, ну что, я могу выйти? Могу. Нет, не могу.
Pay more attention. Watch your step,
Спасибо.
brother.
Так, все, я свободен, да? Я не могу. Уже действительно хочется сбежать и убить кого-то. Так, идти спать. Ну хорошо.
Horrible, abominable waste of parchment. Young people have no respect for writing these days.
But they'll learn. We were no different.
Так, я хотел... Так, кто там, кстати, меня сдал, я хотел узнать.
Ah, Gregor, talk to me.
I'd like to ask you something about the... Well, that's all.
Это не то. Угу. Вообще-то меня тут ничего трогать не должно. Так, нет, это не нет, это не спанье, значит, это еда, значит, здесь алхимия, спать у нас здесь. Я наконец-то хочу...
Why such haste? Why such haste?
Pay more attention. Watch your step, brother.
Я хочу наконец-то поспать. Давайте поспим часик, я сохранюсь и закончу это видео, потому что я уже не могу. На самом деле, вы не представляете, мне хочется сейчас... Наверное, сейчас пойду в какую-нибудь поиграю в более веселую игру, чтобы хоть как-то проснуться, потому что это нереально. Это ужасно, просто ужасно. Игра сохранена. Что ж, вот он и прошел первый день в аду.
Waiting pays off. There's no hurry.
Вот, всем большое спасибо за внимание. Если у меня что-нибудь ночью получится, я это обязательно сниму. Если не получится, ну, извините.